Every actor somewhere down the line wants to do a superhero film. In India, the genre is completely new and perhaps not the most popular one.
The idea that a human being was being controlled with a remote control inspired the story.
Anubhav met me about 5 years back and he came and narrated a story to me about it.
I said, there's a story that I have that cannot be made without you.
And I said, I'd like to make this film.
So I said, if we agree to make this film today, then I would take about a year and a half to prep the film to be able to start shooting it.
First we decided we'll just make a basic idea storyline. So he went back and he kept on writing some versions. I wrote a version. I wrote like a point version of the film. Some of them got too technical, some of them got too scientific or science fiction. So the story kept developing, then I put Kanika and Mushtaq on with him and they started working as a team.
The story is about Jeevan and Ravan. The story is about a father and a son. The story is about a mother and a son.
We got a writer from LA called David Benelo who came on board, who spent 30 days in India with Kanika, Mushtaq and Anubhav.
This dilemma which they don't know how to deal with just because of a video game.
तो मैं आज जाकर एक ऐसा गेम बनाऊंगा जिसमें विलन हीरो से ज्यादा पावरफुल होगा.
And also, one of the basic idea was that we wanted to have the superhero in India. And then we started getting into all the different aspects and elements of the film. As far as the cast is concerned, we did actually move around. We went through some talent agencies and some managers. Then we chanced upon this wonderful actor called Tom Wu, who plays the initial assistant with the main character Shekhar. We were thinking who would be the Indian bad guy, and we thought he should be very powerful, very cool. We wanted evil to be attractive, so we went through names. The only name we could come up with was Arjun.
When he met me, the first thing he said is that I want you to play the title character of the film, Ravan. I want you to have definitely a very, very specific look in the movie. Be really ripped and look really, really strong because he's a very, very powerful character.
Arjun looked the most apt choice. He needed that persona, the grace, the style, and a little over-human trait.
The lady who's opposite Shekharan and the wife, we were a little wary that it should not be a young girl because she has to play the mother of an 11-year-old. And we were even also a little wary that if we take someone like Kareena Kapoor, she may feel that she can't play a mother of an 11, 12-year-old. But she was very keen to do the film and she's like family and friend. So she said, no, Shah Rukh, I want to do this film. And she read the role, she loved it.
बड़ा चार्ज कर दिया है. कुछ और रिचार्ज करना है?
हाँ, मॉम का मूड.
The most difficult was Arman, the young boy. We had Shanu, who does casting for films, a fantastic caster. So she went around all India trying to search kids. Finally, we went and chose Arman, though he was a little younger than the kid that we wanted in the film. But he was so sweet and so at the face, you look at him and you say, okay, this is the guy. And then there was Shahana, there's Dilip Tahil, Satish Shah, brilliant actors. I think really the soul of the film is the fact that these really brilliant actors have come together and believed that they're doing a different kind of film and given it a lot of worthiness also by their performances.
I'm pumping while jumping.
Technically, we haven't made films like this. So maybe we needed to have people on board who would at least guide us, though we still wanted the film to be made like as if made in India and by Indians.
ज़रूरी है कि इस फिल्म में कुछ key positions में कुछ ऐसे लोग हों जिन्होंने इस प्रकार का काम पहले किया है.
Bobby Chawla, who's produced the film with us, and he went around running, calling, emailing, and lots of exchanges. One commonality they all had was they were very keen to do a film in India. They liked the idea. Nicola Piccorini, who's an Italian and American cameraman.
Especially cameraman के लिए कि जिसने विजुअल इफेक्ट्स फिल्में पहले बहुत सारी की है। और फिर उस तलाश में हमें निकोला से मुलाकात हुई। मेरे साथ बफी बैठा था, मैंने उसको बोला कि ही इज़ द मैन, वी वांट हिम।
We found, action directors. I think Spiro had done Kites action by then, and Andy Gill was there. And then our two heads of department for VFX, Harry and Ketan. One other aspect of making this film, that post this film, there should be at least a set of 100 or 200 people who know how to make a film like this. Jeevan is actually the good one. That's why he's Jeevan. He's the lifesaver. 10 worst kind of villains rolled into one is Ravan. We had a lot of discussions amongst the writing team and all that. How do they come to life?
Today, you are born.
15-page brief for both the suits, 15 each.
Tim Flattery and Bob Kurtzman, they had designed the costume.
The first time Shah Rukh wore it was in New York, and amazing feeling it was to see that character come alive that you wrote.
But in this film it was very special because we had to get Nicola here, who wanted to test the costume at different lights. And even for Arjun, we had never thought that Arjun would wear this costume. We designed it for different guys who will wear it because they were supposed to be faceless.
His is a full body suit, and goes all the way down. In fact, it was so heavy that you needed, it's like every time you lifted your hand was like lifting a 10-pound dumbbell.
But I was very clear that Jeevan should not have a lower bottom type. I wanted little kids to be able to just wear a blue t-shirt and black jeans and look like Jeevan. The Ravan suit, I wanted it to be really scary and dangerous with a hood. And the face is also very fantastically designed with pixels and metal. And, they have special things, the hand turns into guns. And I think it has a cool quotient for youngsters. You always like a superhero and supervillain suits. I really like the idea of a superhero or a supervillain coming out of a television or a video game.
Of course, we knew that VFX is going to be a huge part of the whole making process.
I always wanted to make a film which is kind of visual effects heavy or could use visual effects.
My first reaction was, wow, this is the dream project we all been waiting for.
There are close to 4,000 VFX shots in the film. One aspect of the visual effects, which is the suit of the film.
We constructed the Jeevan suit in computer graphics. Jeevan suit is just upper half of the body. It turned out to be like very difficult, extremely difficult, because you have to match to 2 points because it always will float.
So we replaced Jeevan's suit and we figured out, well, now after replacing Jeevan's suit, Ravan's suit doesn't look good. So what do? And we end up replacing his suit as well.
So I think I've been helped a lot with the visual effects again by Harry and Ketan here to get the face to look a little plasticated, the eyes blue and shining.
We constructed the face his face in 3D in computer graphics. So we would basically blend the cleaned up live face and the CGI face in such a way that he would look smooth and yet all his humanness of the emotions and expressions are still intact.
99.9% of our problems have been sorted by the VFX department of Harry and Ketan. I think they put their life into it. Wherever we fell short, wherever we were disappointed, I think they've come up with solutions, and maybe that's why the film will look as beautiful as it does finally. It's the sign of the new digital age we are in.
I was in a narration with Anubhav sir, and he narrated the script to me. And from that point, I'm like, it's been 1.5 years I'm into the film. Specifically, I would like to mention that this film has so much shooting order and so much shooting schedules that everything had to be fitted on the editing table. Initially, I had no idea and no clue what it would look like, but still I edited the whole film keeping a character in mind. And me and my team always used to source out some characters from Hollywood films. Specifically, I would like to mention Anubhav sir's name because he's so good in the VFX part of the filmmaking that he knows every shot. And when you see the film, all the money shots, the major dynamic big shots are of Anubhav sir's mind. Finally, what I see, the product I have delivered, and with in tandem with Shah Rukh sir and Anubhav sir, and with all the team together, we have made a fantastic film. And just to say one thing again, that this film is made by an heart.
Ravan would be, I would say, one of the first movies which 7.1 has been rightly used. So the sound is going to give a larger than life experience. It is a difficult terrain, especially superhero movies. So my initial discussions with SRK was mostly be probing him to come up with, the sounds that you hear in the movies. See, I see film has two different planes in terms of sound. One is the very high-tech virtual world where the characters emanate from, and the other is these characters from the game comes to normal people's lives. So I had to create these two contrasty atmosphere. Jeevan and Ravan playing with cars, so I wanted that to be very, very real. The other set of recordings, what we have done is, I wanted to have all the chase sequence to be very, very real. I wanted to place the audience within the reality of being inside a car who's been chased.
We have managed to create a very good soundtrack, nicely balanced with music, good dialogue quality. I think audience will appreciate the overall soundtrack.
It's a film made by us, the Indians. It's an assertion of Indian technical talent.
We knew the basic idea that we wanted a train action, we wanted a car chase, we wanted a hand-to-hand, and the basic idea was there, but the exact, exact modality or how it's going to pan out, we were not sure of. It was the most difficult sequence on paper, the train sequence.
It hit me in Lonavala when we started shooting the train sequence.
There's so many cameras attached. I think not ever in the history of Indian cinema.
You had 11 kilometer stretch of train tracks, 2 train tracks, and you've got thousands of extras, and you've got one platform.
G1 double, running on the outside of the train, past the people in the doors. Did some moving shots with cameras, some handheld shots inside. Did some tracking shots from another track.
एक आदमी एक ट्रेन के बाहर लटका हुआ है, वो ट्रेन फुल स्पीड पे जा रही है और वो आदमी एक खिड़की से कूदता है दूसरी खिड़की पे। फिर उसमें हमने ये भी नया शगुफा जोड़ दिया कि एक ट्रेन उसको क्रॉस कर रही है। अब 2 ट्रेनों के बीच में जगह, बम्बई में लोकल ट्रेन में मतलब 3.5 फुट 4 फुट, उसमें वो कूदता हुआ आदमी अगर कूदे और पीछे वाली ट्रेन से टकरा जाए तो सिर्फ मरेगा और उससे कम कुछ नहीं होगा। पर वो सारा कुछ उन्होंने इतना सिंपल बना दिया था।
I got a lot of fun stuff going. Worked on the platform, going by people, strobing shots. It's a really cool sequence. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to finish it up on green screen.
For the train sequence, I had to make a replica of the train, that's a real size, where the bogie had to shake, and 2 bogies we had made. But this was again a replica of the existing thing, which had to look as real as possible for the action sequence.
The director wants the building to collapse, which is a bit more difficult than making a building explode, because obviously you're just dealing with gravity. We've got 8 cameras rolling. Yeah, it's been a big build-up.
3, 2, 1,
Anything which has got an impact has to have a physical body rather than doing it completely in CGI, where a part of it is miniature, part of it is breaking down in CGI, and the whole scene was shot in Pawan Hans at an airport strip, which looks like a road on VT with divider.
The train sequence, but I think as far as shooting is concerned, that went off with the least amount of hitch. We shifted to London, which was a big schedule of I think 50-60 days, pre-production of 30 days.
चेज तो यार चेज होती है, 2 तेज जाती हुई गाड़ियाँ होती हैं, वो एक दूसरे का पीछा करती हैं, रास्ते में कुछ छोटे गैग्स होते हैं.
I wasn't part of the chase sequence. Actually, Kareena and the child are being chased by the bad guy.
बट जो उसका कल्मिनेशन था वो मैंने जब लिखा तो मुझे लगा कि ये हो ही नहीं सकता.
Just as this last car goes through, she's going up the tail end of it.
You know, what he used to do was he used to keep it on the ground and take small cars and show the whole sequence of events as it would happen. And that was a prep call which everyone had to take.
When Akashi is leaping from car to car, one of the car crashes and does a 5-6 spin. Unfortunately, it didn't. It just got stuck in the other car. So what we did was we replaced the entire car with a CGI car, and then we did the entire animation of the car flipping.
The chase sequence was very nice. So when it starts, Akash is behind us and he pulls the door and he chucks it behind. But almost the whole chase sequence, I'm sitting in the car and there's no door over here. So it's very scary.
It's one shot. It's got my whole first film.
And we shot it at Battersea, which I think incidentally is the first power plant in Europe. We have some very interesting visuals because of Battersea.
एक दिन मैं और शाहरुख बैठे हुए कुछ बात कर रहे थे तो मैं शाहरुख को कुछ सुना रहा था और उस फ्लो में मेरे को रियलाइज़ नहीं हुआ मैंने ये सीक्वेंस भी सुना दिया.
The London car sequence is one of its kind, which had about 50 cars and 4 or 5 cars were flying in the air.
तो मैंने कहा नहीं मतलब ऐसा कुछ करेंगे तो इनसे क्यों ऐसा कुछ क्यों करेंगे ये क्यों नहीं करेंगे. फिर जब एंडी से मिला तो मैंने एंडी को सुनाया सीक्वेंस तो एंडी ने बोला कि बहुत टफ है.
Then we had another set of unit. We had like 18 cameras at times, so you had to get a whole set of cameramen and lenses and cameras and post-production people and cranes, 6 cranes at the same time. I'd never worked in cranes more than 1 or 2 maximum, and then you have to hang on them. A couple of times the cars didn't blow up the way we wanted, and it depressed Andy and Spiro a lot, you know, because they wanted the car to really be rigged properly. It went wrong, but the VFX department came in handy.
We could not shoot that sequence with all real cars because you have to time it. While some cars are flying, some are being thrown to other guy. We could not shoot it. We could only shoot with 1 or 2 cars. Especially what we did there, foreground cars we shot it real, and all the background cars which are in the air flying, those are all CGI.
My crew are the most important thing to me, making them happy, giving them a good time.
We must have done like 16 different versions of how this film can end, and finally we chose this one.
What they'd done was they'd created the whole set, which is exactly the replica of the game. And that's where Jeevan and Ravan kind of meet towards the end of the movie.
I was briefed of having 3 different levels and it had to have a definite look. And being a game, everything had to be surreal.
So you have level 1, they throw, these fireballs and all of that they throw at each other.
There's one shot which is a glass shot where SRK is running and Ravan throws a charge at him. It crashes the glass and the glass all comes out and he's basically running through the glass and the camera goes 3D. Each frame of that glass shot took us 137 hours to render.
Level 2 is more of kind of a fist fight, almost like a guerrilla warfare kind of tactic.
Whenever the contact happens between them, you see some light which comes out, some energy, because positive and negative energy meet and you see light. That's what we have tried to do. And when you see that thing in slow-mo, you see actually because of that impact, the shock wave, what happens.
In level 2 there was one shot where in one shot Shah Rukh gets hit twice, one on the chest and one on the face. We rendered 2 lakh frames just for one shot.
And the final face-off is almost like a spaghetti western standoff that happens between 2 cowboys.
The whole idea is that anti-hard gun is part of them, and so we had to use cubic transformation. It actually comes out from their body. That's what happens in the film, because it's part of them, because they only get anti-hard gun once in the film.
And this is where the game of the hero and the villain ends. This is where they go back to being the game that they were.
When the night has come, when the night has come and the land is dark. When the night has come, when the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light.
We wanted the song to be very sweet and the because I think that's the modern trend. We didn't want to lip sync it. But of course our partners T-Series feel that I should sing the song, so I've done it.
Dildara हमने काफ़ी different location में shoot की because it's a montage song again, and Shah Rukh sir wanted to use the song in a very different way.
Reminiscent of the relationship of the father with his son and his wife.
Darling, darling, stand by me.
So we needed funny, sweet, warm moments.
Just as long as you stand by me. And darling,
Out and out, a very romantic track, very beautifully sung, and काफ़ी लोगों को पसंद आ रहा है.
stand by me. Just as long as you
We still came through with some great montage sequences and a wonderful sequence, very funny, with the dress getting caught in the car.
Anubhav is fantastic with music and Vishal Shekhar had come on board. And we wanted the music to be English, to be a part English, part Hindi.
One day I reached Vishal Shekhar's studio. They played a song to me, and all of us together said, "This sounds like an Akon song, na?"
So I met him in New York at a nightclub, and I requested him that, would he do a Hindi film? And he was so keen. He said, yeah, of course.
And tough words like Khabon and Saason, it's not easy for somebody to say that first time right off the bat, man.
As cheap producers are, I said, why is he sitting here free? Let's make him do another song.
And he said, bro, I want to sing in Hindi. And he started replicating those words.
Ameri hole aja parda gira de. Parda. Parda.
कैसा शर्माना आजा नच के दिखा दे मेरी होले आजा परिदा गिरा दे मेरी यकियों से यकियां मिला दे तूने नखरे दिखा
Crazy. I mean, it's you don't expect that this is going to take this song to another level. Just the reach of it, it's going to be fantastic.
wanna be my chamak chalo wanna be my chamak chalo
So he came, he finished that, and then we heard it. From day one, it sounded like the most amazing song.
Chamak Challo is such a unique name, such a unique word. No song has been made on Chamak Challo. See, with Bebo, she is a Chupa Rustam. She starts with all the natak and nakhra, and then finally she does the best, I had to devise a step, and I devised a step which was very well taken by SR. So when you make him do some weird, unique steps, and he says, "Yaar, main faltu to nahi lunga," I said, "Don't worry, yaar." And I said, let's do Bharatnatyam with you. Showcase something which people get shocked about. So I said, boss, you'll have to do Bharatnatyam. And he says, yaar, karenge bindas. He was really game for it.
So the last part of this journey, Ravan, has been that every time something comes out of it, it looks like you've had a baby. So normally, making one film is like having one baby. Making Ravan has been like making 10 babies or even more. Internationally, we'll make all the Indians and people from the subcontinent very proud that India can produce, direct and write films like this. But whatever the end result, the process has been one of the most fantastic experiences of my 20-year career.
They say you can run, but you can't hide, Lucifer.
मेरे को भूल गया मैं बाकी का